The Acolyte is the only Star Wars Disney Plus show to date set outside of the Skywalker timeline, and fans are wondering just how far this show could really go. Well, buckle up because we've already got an update in regards to a potential second season of the show.
The dark side of the Force.
However, there is potential for it to become something much more than that.
A new beginning.
Which could also mean a departure of sorts. Let's dig into it, because aside from some set images that came out earlier this year and a leaked blurry trailer from Star Wars Celebration, we don't know much about this show at all, and at this point in time it is set to be the next Star Wars show to drop on Disney+. Now this article is over on the Direct. It's titled "The Acolyte Gets Promising Season 2 Update." Disney's The Acolyte Season 2 just received some promising news. After putting much of its Disney Plus focus into the Mandoverse and the Skywalker Saga timeline, Lucasfilm will deliver The Acolyte, a show set in the High Republic that will introduce a record-breaking amount of new Jedi comprised of a stellar cast. The pre-Phantom Menace show will explore shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers, as former Padawan Amandla Stenberg reunites with her old Jedi Master Li Jiangjie to investigate a series of crimes. Now, it's said that this show is going to be set towards the end of the High Republic era, which is around about 100 years before the Phantom Menace. According to a new report from Star Wars Newsnet revealing the writers behind all 8 episodes of the Disney Plus series, The Acolyte has been planned for a second season, but it's unclear whether it has yet entered development. The report aligns with details shared via Screen Rant in producer Karen McCarthy's lawsuit against Disney over her firing from The Acolyte. If you missed that, it's just another situation of problems behind the scenes of a Star Wars production, becoming all too common these days. The suit noted Lucasfilm assured her the story arc of the show, as well as the company's business plans, called for The Acolyte to run for multiple seasons. The Acolyte Season 1 wrapped production in June 23 ahead of the SAG-AFTRA strike after filming in the UK since October 22. The show remains on track for a 2024 premiere, with the chances of a Season 2 renewal for The Acolyte likely hinging on the reviews and viewership over the Disney Plus series. Now, the last I heard, The Acolyte was set to be released in August 2024. Disney see that summer slot as the ideal time to release one of these shows, and Lucasfilm are betting on The Acolyte being the big Star Wars show for next year, above Skeleton Crew, which of course is set in the Mandoverse. Now, in my opinion, there are 2 key elements working in favour for The Acolyte being a successful Star Wars show. The first being it's going to take us back to a time that we've never before explored in live action. It's going to be great to see what the galaxy was like back then, what type of characters were around, good and bad, and what events transpired around that time period. But also, as we mentioned, it's outside of the Skywalker timeline, it's outside of the story that George Lucas created. One of the biggest criticisms fans have had with Disney Star Wars is how it impacts on the pre-existing story and how it affects the legacy characters. The Acolyte effectively is going to be creating a whole new slate of characters that we don't know about. Yes, you could get Darth Plagueis in there, that's very possible, but he hasn't appeared in Star Wars live action anyway. And if we look towards the first season of The Mandalorian, when Din Djarin was effectively this lone bounty hunter out on the fringes of the galaxy and didn't have a connection to the bigger picture, the big story, fans completely loved it. It's as The Mandalorian progressed and he met characters like Boba Fett, Bo-Katan, Ahsoka, Luke, we get to the point of The Mandalorian Season 3 and fans aren't as invested in that character as they once were. The Acolyte isn't going to go through that because it's set so far in the past. It's going to keep that air of mysticism, the air of you don't know how the story's going to go, you don't know what story's taking place around it at that point in time. Now, it goes into a little bit more detail about The Acolyte here, but it's the closing statement that really piques my interest. One can only wonder what this means for the future of Star Wars High Republic, but it certainly points towards Lucasfilm's commitment to exploring this era going forwards in even more projects. Now, the last few years they've been writing countless books, comics, they've even got an animated TV show on Disney Plus called Young Jedi Adventures, set in a High Republic. They're now making The Acolyte, or they've made The Acolyte, just waiting for it to be released. Potential for Season 2. I strongly believe, and I think this is the case, they're not doing this to waste their time. Once the Mandoverse is out of the way, once they've done the movies they want to make to get themselves back in theatres, with the Filoni movie, with the Rey Skywalker movie, maybe the Mangold movie, I believe Lucasfilm are fully going to switch over to the High Republic, and that is going to be the future of Star Wars content they're going to tell for the years to come. Now, in my opinion, I do personally wish it was the Old Republic that they were diving in on, but we can't have it all our own way. I'm interested to see where this story goes nonetheless. Let me know, is The Acolyte a show that interests you? Remember to like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'll catch you in the next one. May the Force be with you.